According to 2021 data, it is estimated that around 11 million people are in prison for various offenses. The reasons for offending vary widely around the world, depending on personal, social, economic, and psychological factors. Poverty, lack of education, domestic violence, addictions, social inequalities, and sometimes purely individual decisions can lead people to commit offenses. The most common types of offenses include theft, fraud, violence, drug trafficking, murder, and cybercrime. Depending on the type and seriousness of their offenses, individuals are prosecuted, receive different sentences, and face different phases of the justice system. At the end of these processes, millions of people are sent to prison for reintegration into society or for deterrence and community safety. The United States holds the title of the country with the highest prisoner rate in the world. Around 2 million people are thought to be in prisons, and this means that about 700 out of every 100,000 people are imprisoned. As of 2019, between 10,000 and 15,000 prisoners die each year from various causes. High rates of imprisonment around the world strain living conditions in prisons and create problems for rehabilitation and reintegration. The worldwide crime rates and the harsh conditions of prisons have made some prisons famous. One of them will never be forgotten. Alcatraz. There's no escape. For many years, this island on the cliffs opposite San Francisco was known as the most secure prison in the world. Today, Alcatraz is a tourist attraction, but at one time its walls held the most dangerous criminals. Let's go deeper into Alcatraz's past to explore the reputation this eerie place has earned through the time it has spent and the inmates it has housed. Until the middle of the 19th century, this island was just a piece of rock, but over time it was used for different purposes. It was first designed and constructed as a military prison in the 1850s and was officially used as a military prison by the U.S. government in the 1860s. During this period, the island was used to hold military offenders and deserters, especially during the Civil War. The prison was designed to be impossible to escape from due to its high security structure and natural surroundings. The strong currents of cold water at about 10 to 12 degrees Celsius and rumors of sharks were considered an impossible place for prisoners to escape. After this initial period, Alcatraz's function changed over time because it was designed to be more secure than other prisons and impossible to escape. In 1934, it was opened by the U.S. Department of Justice for use as a federal prison. With its strict rules and high discipline, how did the prisoners spend a day? Prisoners were housed in small, single cells, averaging between 1.5 and 2.7 meters in size. Each cell had a bed, a small table, a sink, and a toilet. No extra personal belongings were allowed. At 7 a.m., they would go to the dining hall for breakfast. They would queue up quietly and eat in order. Talking was almost forbidden. If a prisoner caused trouble in the dining hall once, he lost his right to eat here again and had to eat in his cell. 8 to 16. These were working hours. Most of the prisoners had to work. Work was seen as a kind of reward and was given to prisoners who behaved in a disciplined manner. They usually worked on shoemaking, laundry services, weaving, etc. Prisoners who did not work returned to their cells and stayed there until dinner time. 1630. The prisoners lined up again for dinner. The last hot meal of the day was served at this time. At 1700 hours, back to the cells. The rest of the day was spent in quiet activities such as reading, writing, or thinking. At 21:30, lights are switched off and sleep is started. The slightest breach of discipline could result in the prisoner being sent to the D-block cells, the so-called straitjackets. Prisoners were kept in a completely dark room. There were famous names in the world of crime. Criminals like Al Capone and Robert Stroud served time here. Capone was in a very bad mood during his time on Alcatraz and led a very difficult life on the island. During his stay at Leavenworth, he became interested in birds. Robert Stroud, who specialized in building bird cages, feeding birds and treating sick birds, and wrote 2 books on the subject, also served time here, but was not allowed to study birds or feed birds. Although it is known to be impossible, prisoners have repeatedly attempted to escape from this place of hell for them. According to official records, 36 prisoners have tried to escape from Alcatraz. Of these, 23 were captured, 6 were shot, 2 drowned, and 5 disappeared and were presumed dead. The most famous escape attempt was the plan carried out in 1962 by Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin. The 3 men managed to escape in the middle of the night by breaking through the walls of their cells, tunneling underneath and filling their beds with paper and clothes. After the incident, the fate of the 3 men who escaped has never been known. This great mystery behind the escapes deepened the legend of Alcatraz. On 21st March 1963, Alcatraz prison was closed due to high costs and various reasons and ceased to be used as a federal prison. In 1972, it was turned over to the U.S. National Park System and made a public tourist attraction. The prison's horrific past has become one of its greatest attractions for tourists. This transformation brought us the historical traces of Alcatraz. We have come to the end of our video on the history and present of Alcatraz. If you want these videos to continue, stay tuned and don't forget to like the video.